Magic Masses! I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Kingdom Come 10 Christmas Vacation was a great show and heck of a way for Pro Wrestling Magic to end 2025. Unfortunately, I had to take a bus and then take an Uber to get to the show, and I got in the building and Shane Fair was in the ring welcoming the crowd, so I made it in time for the opening match, which was the Revolver Alex Ryman taking on the Allfather Darius Carter in the 2025 Keys to the Kingdom. Both men were Keys to the Kingdom winners in the past, and they faced each other one-on-one. It's might have been their first ever one-on-one meeting. Darius Carter defeats the Revolver Alex Ryman at 12 minutes, 32 seconds to not only gain but earn the Keys to the Kingdom for the second time ever. Up next was the hair versus hair match as the son of wrestling, Vincent Michaels, took on Alex Rivera, El Tirador. Good match these two had. Rivera made Michaels submit to the Kata Hajime, which is mostly commonly known as the Taz Mission. I don't know if I said it before, but Alex Rivera won the match over Vincent Michaels in 8 minutes, 16 seconds. And right before the match even started, they conveniently brought a barber's chair because the thing was, the match was sponsored by Ace of Fades. Is that the name of the barber shop? Not sure where in New Jersey they're located at. But after the match ended, Rivera had put the Kata Hajime on Michaels again and put him in the seat, and they started cutting his hair, and they were like, I don't know if they did it rather quickly or what the deal was, because I know it was a second match. I thought they could have started the show with that match, the hair versus hair. Okay, but that was interesting to see where those two go from here. Especially being Vincent Michaels, one half of the Leather Jacket Mafia. Alright, third matchup, we see, in a battle for looking for respect, Cheeseburger took on one half of Misery Inc., Troy Locke. And this was, they said, the first of three matches where if Troy Locke gets through all three matches, he'll get a shot at the Dark Arts Championship in June 2026. Troy Locke defeated Cheeseburger at 8 minutes, 36 seconds to complete the first phase of this this three-match series, where if he wins the next two matches, he'll get a Dark Arts title shot at the June show, June 2026. Okay. From there, we had it was billed as the Specialty Juniors Gauntlet match, but it was actually a four-way matchup, as we saw V. Daniel defeat Vinny Pacifico, Junie Underwood, and Timmy Tamir Gibbs to win the Junior Heavyweight Championship at 8 minutes, 43 seconds. Now, the Brooklyn Outlaw Diamond was supposed to be in this matchup, but they said someone attacked him. No word on where that's going to lead up to. Funny thing is, I forgot to mention, with the changes with Journey Burke on Esquire unable to make the show, one match was scratched from the show. She was going to challenge Tiffany Avatar, and what they did was, and I'll get to that later on, they took the match between Tiffany Grady versus Gem, Jem, not Gem, and they wound up a three-way match for women's title. We'll get to that one later on. But as I said, V. Daniel won the Junior Heavyweight Championship, defeating Timmy Tamir Gibbs, Vinny Pacifico, and Junie Underwood in 8 minutes 43 seconds. But out comes Mateo Marcellus with La Bruja, and Mateo announced to the crowd that somebody has a guaranteed fast pass title shot. And out comes Eden, who initially was suspended for the rest of 2025, but he shows up, and those pro Eden fans that were sitting across the room from me, they were like cheering and screaming their heads off. And Mateo said to V. Daniel, "You're gonna face him right now." The match was on. Eden defeats V. Daniel at exactly 1 minute to become the new Junior Heavyweight Champion. Now, I don't know if Eden was already a part of El Pacto Diabolico, but it looks like he pretty much is now, because he did leave. Like, he was, Mateo and La Bruja were celebrating with Eden. Okay. Up next was the Monsters collided as Wrecking Ball Legursky did battle with the world's largest combat veteran, Kerr. Not Grr. Kerr with a K, not a G. I know it sounds like you're saying Grr when you say his last name. And funny thing is, they even did like a football spot where this I don't know if it's a little league football team or middle school football team that Kerr coaches in Lodi, New Jersey, and the Lodi Rams, I understand it's called. And I think one kid came in the ring with a football, and he and referee Nick Shin were acting like they're ready to. The kid had like act like he's the quarterback, while Kerr and Legursky were like colliding in the middle of the ring. Eventually, Kerr defeats Wrecking Ball Legursky at 9 minutes 35 seconds. And then from there, due to the fact Jay Lethal was unable to make the show, the American Outlaw Dan Murdoch had issued an open challenge. And he comes to the ring, and it was answered by someone who else was part of the old Body Slammers, or Body Slam Wrestling Organization, the BWO, run by Richie Rotten, back in the early to mid-2000s. And it was none other than The Hunter, representing Stressed and Depressed. I forgot the other two that were with him. Two members that were with him. I'm surprised Stressed and Depressed is still a thing. It's like sometimes these guys aren't even announced for the shows. But in this case, I guess it's safe to say, in the Hunter's case, he got lucky. Jay Lethal had to pull out of the show. Matches on. Dan Murdoch defeats the Hunter at 8 minutes 10 seconds. Murdoch gets the microphone, and he thinks that he still thinks and hopes that he will get to have his one-on-one match with Jay Lethal someday. No, I forgot one particular match, folks. Right after the hair versus hair match, and right before Cheeseburger Troy Lock, the third match of the show was El Pacto Diabolico's Justin Vane going one-on-one with Ray Mars. Ray Mars defeated Justin Vane at 8 minutes 7 seconds, and as a result of pre-match stipulation, El Pacto Diabolico could not be at ringside for the Heavyweight and Dark Arts Championship matches later in the show. Okay. Let me see. Okay, went through Murdoch and Hunter. Okay, and then actually we had the rest of the title matches the rest of the way right after Murdoch defeated the Hunter. Okay. We had the four-way match for the Tag Team Championship. We had South Philly's finest, Luca Grazzi and Jimmy, I apologize for not remembering his last name. And there was another man out there with him. I haven't seen South Philly's finest ever since they were wrestling for BCW. But South Philly's finest versus the Revolver's Chamber, Brandon Downey and Lugosi, versus Isaiah Wolf and Ruthless Lala, Prolific, versus Dave McCall and Nate Wallace, the Rep. That I think it was Jimmy of South Philly's Fire. It was like really, the fans were chatting jackass at him before the match and stuff. One point he falls out of the ring. He's right in front of me and he's hurting. Eventually, the Revolver's Chamber, Brandon Downey and Lugosi defeat Prolific, the Rep, and South Philly's Finest to become the new Pro Wrestling Magic Tag Team Champions at, and I kid you not on this, 13 minutes and 13 seconds. Okay, up next was the Triple Threat match for the Women's Championship, and not only that, a match where the keys to the Queendom would be decided, because the person who is not involved in the decision would receive the keys to the Queendom, as we saw Tiffany Grady versus Gem versus Cotton Candy Princess Tiffany Avatar. Now, even I don't know if it was before the gong went off or after it went off, Tiffany Grady left the ring and sat by the commentation station. Eventually, Tiffany Avatar picks up the win over Tiffany Grady and Jim to retain the women's championship at an even 6 minutes. What happened was afterwards, the new junior heavyweight champion Eden and La Bruja come out, and Tiffany Grady was saying, Grady was telling Avatar, you're gonna put your head on a swivel because you don't know when I'm gonna cash this in, and I forgot what La Bruja was holding in her hand, and that was pretty much the end right there. Then it was time for the lights out, no DQ, no count out match, as we saw the Star Killer, Steve Off, accompanied by El Rotundo, I forgot his name again. Surprisingly, heel son Luke was not there. As Steve Off challenged Mateo Marcelos for the Dark Arts Championship, Marcelos came to the ring with La Bruja, Tony Ice, Eden. La Bruja, Tony Ice, Eden, Justin Vane. Oh, and the one with the rabbit mask that Shane Fair referred to. I believe he's known as Kukai or El Kukai. The one with the rabbit mask, as Shane Fair referred to. And what happened was, there was right before the referee was referee Taylor. He was set to start the match. He said, I can't start the match until they leave. And Off basically tells him, hey, loophole. They always find a loophole. Match gets underway. Eventually, a lot of plunder was brought in the ring, if you will. I saw a stop sign. 1 point Off. Mateo had some kind of metal sharp object. He came to the ring and put it in his teeth, carrying it to the ring. He came in and he used it on Steve, and Steve bled from that. It didn't look like there was much blood gushing out of there. Eventually, Off suplexes Mateo on a door set up on 2 chairs. Eventually, Ray Mars comes to the ring and he says, referee, I could be here. I'm not El Pact with Pacto. And Mateo's in the corner, Off's looking at him, but then Ray Mars attacks Off, and then eventually Mateo pins Steve Off to retain the Dark Arts Championship at 13 minutes, 43 seconds, and Ray Mars shakes hands with Mateo, and now he's a part of El Pacto Diabolico, and after that, Dan Murdoch comes out, and he's ready to square off with every member of El Pacto Diabolico, seemingly. But Murdoch comes to the ring and tries to comfort Steve. Mateo Marcelo, still the Dark Arts champion. He defeated Steve Off at 13 minutes, 43 seconds. And then it was time for the main event. It was a 4-way match for the heavyweight championship, as we saw the freshly Trey Felipe versus the mayor of Scumbag City, John Tella, versus the good guy Azriel, versus Bruno El Oso Blanco. Now, surprisingly, Bruno actually came to the ring by himself instead of having El Pacto Diabolico with him. A 4-way matchup, and I don't know if they were just trying to get the show done or what the problem was. Azriel defeats Bruno El Oso Blanco, Trey Felipe, and John Tella at, was it 7 minutes 50 seconds? 7 minutes 07, I can't remember. I didn't write. I wrote it's like a ratio number instead of like a time. But I know it was over 7 minutes. It was like maybe it was 7 over. Even I don't know if it was 7 minutes 50 seconds or 7 minutes 5 seconds. The good guy Azriel, the new Pro Wrestling Magic heavyweight champion, he pinned Trey Felipe to win the belt. Let me see. The funny thing is, Azriel wasn't even scheduled to be on the show initially, and great way to end the show. It ended, I think, between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. And, well, of course, they went straight through without an admission. Good thing they did start at 4. Okay. Whew, we've got definitely some personal notes. Good seeing Elliot, Shade Fair, Pete Ryman, John Harder, Cheyenne Ortiz, the Cuban hype men, Fernando and Bruno. Okay. Well, here's some memorable quotes. He looks like a Dirty Dom action figure. Somebody in the crowd referring to Troy Locke. Santa's not real! The Hunter, of stress and depressed when he noticed me with my Santa Claus hat before he entered the ring for his match with Dan Murdoch. As far as traveling, as I meant, traveling goes, to get to the Meadowlands YMCA, I had to take a bus and get off at Patterson Plank Road and Murray Hill Parkway. Now, I mentioned in the past, walking from that bus stop to the building is about 25 minutes, and I wasn't going to freeze my ass off doing that. Especially considering I reached that bus stop, it was already past 3:30. What happened was there was a 305 bus from NJ Transit 163 bus. I know the 164 stops there too. The 163 bus, there's supposed to be one at 3:05 p.m. and it didn't show up. Instead, it was the 320 bus that showed up, and I got that. Because the thing is, I mean, I wish there was like a better way. I mean, maybe next time try and get there a different way. Maybe take the train to Rutherford train station and then go to and then take an Uber or Lyft from there to the show. Anybody? I know they were selling food there, but anybody know what food or drinks they were selling at the building as the show went on? On top of that, does anybody know if there's any diners or restaurants in that Rutherford Karlstadt area? Because I saw not sure if it was a Mexican place, but there was a place near. Oh, actually, on Patterson Plank Road, past Murray Hill Parkway, right across the street from the bus stop to take a bus back to New York City. I was thinking of going there to get something to eat, but then all of a sudden it was like 4 minutes till the bus was arriving, and thankfully it did. Okay, somebody out there, please let me know if you know of any of these questions. Like I said, there was pretty women sitting behind me for this show. As I mentioned about with Eden returning and winning the Junior Heavyweight Championship, I do remember, I guess they were the same fans who also had that Steve sign with them. But I gotta say, with El Pacto Diabolico now grown by one more member, I mean, look at this. We got Mateo Marcelos, Bruno Bronco, El Pacto, Kukai, is it Kukai or Kukui? I don't know. Kukai, El Kukai, the one with the rabbit mask. La Bruja, Eden. I don't know if Tiffany Grady joined the group because Eden, I believe, Eden and La Bruja came out, and with when Grady was telling Avatar about having her head on a swivel. Ray Ray Mars has just joined the group. Tony Ice, Trixie, we haven't forgotten about her, even though she wasn't there. I don't know how many, but that's quite a group. I mean, they may try to swallow Pro Wrestling Magic whole that may be their goal in 2026. But who's to say if they can do it or end up doing it? Okay. And also, actually, when I finally got back to New York City, I went to the TikTok Diner, which is right next to Manhattan Center / Hammerstein Ballroom. Now, before I went to go pay for my check, sitting a few tables away from me was the premier athlete, Tony Nese. He did not notice me. And the funny thing was, of course, I remember his days when he started in NYWC out in Long Island back in the mid-2000s under the name Maverick. How many of you people out there can say you saw him from the beginning? Oh boy. Okay, now it's time for some plugs. Pro Wrestling Magic kicks off 2026 with For Whom the Bell Tolls on Saturday, January 17th from the Meadowlands YMCA in Rutherford, New Jersey. We already got 2 matches announced. Okay? Still, Dark Arts champion Mateo Marcellus defends his Dark Arts championship against, making his return, the Timeless Crowbar. And if that wasn't enough, the heavyweight champion, the new heavyweight champion, the good guy, Azrael, defends his championship against the man he wound up replacing in this match, also making his return, Smiley. And of course, what's become another tradition and has helped make this January's event one of the biggest shows of the year, it's the return of the Chad Adams Memorial Rumble, where the winner will get a title shot probably at the anniversary show. I don't know when that's happening. Now, Shane Fair announced to the crowd that Kingdom Come 11, which is taking place next year, is going to be a 2-event spectacle. Probably used the wrong word. But it's good. Both of those shows are happening. The first one, part 1, phase 1 of Kingdom Come 11 is taking place on Saturday, November 21st, 2026. The second phase is happening December 19th, 2026, which is my 50th birthday. Now, folks, it's way too early to tell if I will make that show. A lot can happen between now and December 19th of 2026. So let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Also, I noticed on Pro Wrestling Magic's Twitter, they have other show dates. Of course, for those who don't know, the theme of the show title theme of 2026 are Metallica songs. As I said, January 17th is titled For Whom the Bell Tolls. But here's a few other dates already set. February 21st, March 21st, April 11th, May 16th, and June 20th. No word on July through October yet. Ugh. Alrighty, let me see if there's anything else I gotta go over here. Okay, on the train ride home, there was some puke. Not actual puke, not vomit. Some puke vaping right across the train from me. Fuck vape. Let me see if I cut. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm giving you a little peek ski, as the late Gorilla Monsoon said. Because, I mean, I don't know if I just can't read my own handwriting anymore or what the hell is happening. All right, let me see. If I left anything out, hold that thought, folks. Okay, might mock my handwriting and shit. Okay. All right, I think that pretty much covers it. But as I said, the matches that were already 2 matches already announced. Chad Adams Rumble, okay? Oh. But I would like to see... Alright, yeah, actually, I would like to see newly crowned Junior Heavyweight Champion Eden one-on-one with V. Daniel, and I don't know if they'll do another stipulation match because they had a casket match at Shane's World back in October. Well, come to think of it, since it didn't happen here at Kingdom Come 10, why not Tiffany Avatar against Journey Burke Esquire for the Women's Championship? Okay? Be interesting to see where so many, well, everything goes from here. I mean, I just can't even, like, put a finger on a lot of the stuff that's planned. I mean, 2025 was a huge year, Pro Wrestling Magic. That was for certain. But I think 2026 is going to be even bigger. Now, Steve Off. It's way too early for, probably way too early to decide show titles for 2027. Here's an idea. Crime drama TV shows. I don't know if you'll keep that idea in mind. Who knows how, or maybe, or hang on to that thought, to that idea for any particular year for show titles. But that's something I would have in mind. Crime drama TV shows, because remember, in the first quarter of the year 2000, I'm sorry, the year 2020, before the world stopped moving, aka COVID-19 pandemic, you know, you were doing sitcoms. You had Full House and Family Matters. And folks, I'm surprised. I don't know if everybody has seen on the Magic Masters Facebook page that I did a review of the very first Kingdom Come, and I don't think anybody really commented on it or even watched it yet. But folks, let me know if you want more, do more reviews of past Pro Wrestling Magic events that I missed over the years. I can't believe it. February is going to mark, holy shit, look at that, folks. February is going to mark 9 years since I started going to Pro Wrestling Magic. My first show was Even Now, back in February 2017. Unbelievable, folks. Oh, I've got to mention, Sherry Ann was there. I don't know if her son Mikey came to the show. But folks, had a great time. I'm sure everybody was thrilled with the show. Hopefully, they do get more fans. I can understand it's almost Christmas time. Almost Christmas. Maybe that's why they didn't get that big of a crowd. And now, I guess it's safe to say the ramp is no more. Because this is the second show in a row they didn't have the ramp there. So, oh boy. Okay. But folks, I definitely enjoyed this show. New champions crown. We had some blood, betrayal, some changes made. What else could I say happened at this? Well, we had a head shaving. Well, actually, I'm sorry. An unexpected match, because originally the plan for this event was supposed to be. Hold that thought. I think we were supposed to have 12 matches, but with the changes made with knowing that, well, actually, when Journey Burke Esquire couldn't make the event. Let me see. Yeah, we still ended up with 12 matches because they took, because Journey Burke Esquire missed the show. They took they combined the Key to the Queendom match and the women's title match into one. Talk about thinking on the fly. Ugh. But, oh wait, another match I thought of for January 17th. Steve Off and Dan Murdoch against two members of El Pacto Diabolico. But, you know, and yes, folks, I will be there January 17th. And like I said, maybe find another way to get there. And hopefully someone can help me out on finding a place to eat after the shows. I mean, granted, it was a 4 o'clock start for this event, but, you know, I was hungry like the wolf, as Duran Duran said after it was over. Or, as Samuel L. Jackson would say, hungry like a motherfucker. Okay. And for those who missed the show, namely Bill Parham, Jason Bob 87, who else was not there? Wow, can't remember who else didn't make the show, but you missed a great one. And this was by the way, this was the first time I attended Kingdom Come since Kingdom Come 7 back at the end of 2022. And I'm sorry to say it, Steve, Kingdom Come 10 did not top Kingdom Come 7, but having two of them for Kingdom Come 11 next year, let's see, it's going to be probably as the Beatles said, the long and winding road. I know huge things are coming, especially with a new year about to start. Man, oh man. Okay. Hope everybody enjoyed this one.